Have you ever laid awake at night staring at the ceiling, wondering, was she ever really in love with me? Or was I just a stepping stone, a convenience, a distraction from her boredom? If you've asked yourself these questions, you're not alone and you're not weak, but you do deserve clarity. In this video, we're diving deep into 6 powerful signs that she was using you, through the lens of Stoic wisdom, guided by the timeless teachings of Marcus Aurelius. Stick around because this isn't just another list. This could reshape how you view love, self-worth, and relationships forever. So if you've ever felt manipulated, emotionally drained, or confused by a woman's behavior, watch this till the end. It may just be the eye-opener your heart's been waiting for. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and most importantly, stay till the end, because this could literally change how you protect yourself and build healthier love moving forward. The trap of false love. Once there was a young Roman soldier, let's call him Lucius, brave in battle, loyal to his comrades and full of dreams. But off the battlefield he met a woman, elegant, charming, and always in need of help. She praised him when he gave, ignored him when he didn't. She never stayed after sunset and never looked him in the eyes when she spoke of love. Lucius, blind with emotion, kept giving, his time, his wealth, his energy, until one day she vanished. Left alone, Lucius turned to his mentor's writings, Marcus Aurelius, and as he read, the fog began to clear. He wasn't broken. He was misled. Let's learn what Lucius learned, so you can see the signs before it's too late. You're always giving, and she's always taking. Have you ever loved someone so much that you'd do anything for them? Like anything? You'd drive across the city at 2 a.m. just to be there. You'd skip meals just to afford that little gift that would make her smile. You'd cancel plans with your friends, push aside your goals, silence your needs, all for her. If you're nodding right now, or even silently recalling a time you did this part of the story is yours, and I want you to walk with me for a moment, back in time. Imagine a man, let's call him you, because parts of this story will feel like they're carved from your own memories. He meets her. She's laughter in motion, mystery wrapped in charm, and he thinks, finally I've found her. At first she's sweet, appreciative, a little flirty, but slowly, subtly, things change. She doesn't ask about your day anymore, but she still wants you to ask about hers. She doesn't plan anything, but expects you to always have something ready. She never offers to pay, but notices when your wallet's light. She doesn't comfort you when you're low, but demands your support when she's upset. And you keep giving because you love her, because you're hoping one more sacrifice will finally make her stay. You tell yourself she's just going through something, or she'll come around, but deep down something aches. Something feels off. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one, and you are one." But here's the twist Marcus didn't have to say. Being a good man doesn't mean being a doormat. You were never meant to carry an entire relationship on your shoulders. Love isn't measured by how much you suffer for someone. It's measured by how much you both grow together. Think back. In that relationship, did she ever truly ask you how you felt? Did she ever give without needing something back? Did she ever hold your hand not when she wanted something, but when you were quietly falling apart? Be honest. Because real love feels like safety, not sacrifice. It feels like support, not slavery. It's not about how many times you bend, but whether she bends with you. And if you're realizing now that you were always giving and she was always taking, don't run from that truth. Sit with it, feel it, and let it open your eyes. This story isn't meant to break you. It's meant to wake you. You're not alone. So many men walk this path, blindfolded by love, hoping for change, waiting for proof that their sacrifices matter. But the harsh truth? If she only sticks around when you're giving and disappears when you need receiving, she's not your partner. She's your parasite. This isn't heartbreak. This is a rebirth. You gave your love, and that makes you powerful, not weak. So now the question is, what will you do with that power? Tells him she only shows affection when she wants something. Have you ever noticed how her touch, her warmth, her love, suddenly shows up when she needs something? It's like flipping a switch. She's cold one day, distant, distracted, barely replying to your texts. Then suddenly, she's warm, playful, smiling at your jokes again, holding your hand like she never wants to let go. But here's the catch. It only happens when she wants a favor, or money, or emotional support, or to be bailed out of a mess she created. Sound familiar? If it does, I want you to know you're not crazy. And no, you're not imagining things. You're waking up. Let me take you back to the story of Lucius. Remember him? One night, after weeks of feeling ignored, Lucius got a surprise visit from her. She was all smiles. She kissed him like she meant it. She asked about his day, laughed at his stories, told him she'd been thinking about him so much lately. For a moment, he thought, maybe things are finally getting better. But then came the ask. She needed help paying off a small debt, just something temporary, just until next week. Just this once. Lucius helped, of course. He always did. But then she was gone again, emotionally vanished, cold as marble, until the next time she needed something. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." Let's seek that truth right here, right now. Real affection doesn't appear only when it's convenient. It doesn't vanish when your pockets are empty. It doesn't show up only when you're useful. And yet many of us fall into this emotional trap. Why? Because it feels good, even if just for a moment, to be wanted. To believe her touch means love. To convince ourselves that this time it's different. That this time, she means it. But deep down, something doesn't feel right. You feel used, hollow, like a tool, not a man. And here's where it gets real. Ask yourself, when was the last time she showed you love? Without needing anything in return? When was the last time she surprised you with kindness? Just because? When was the last time her affection was about you, not what you could do for her? That's the test. Because in love, affection should be a language, not a transaction. It should be present even when you have nothing to offer. It should say, "I'm here for you, not you owe me." Lucius learned this too late. But you don't have to. If love only shows up when she needs something, that's not love. That's manipulation with a smile. And you deserve more than that. You deserve someone who holds your hand when you're empty, not just when your wallet's full. 3. She avoids vulnerability but exploits yours. Have you ever opened your heart to a woman completely? Told her your childhood wounds? Your deepest fears? The things that kept you up at night? Have you ever trusted her with parts of you that even your closest friends don't know? If yes, then you know how terrifying, yet beautiful that kind of vulnerability can be. Now here's the real question. What did she do with that vulnerability? Did she cradle it with care? Or did she collect it like ammo, waiting to use it when things didn't go her way? If this hits something deep, lean in. You need to hear this. Let's go back to Lucius, our Roman soldier. He once told her about the day he lost his brother in battle. He opened up about the guilt he carried, how he felt he could have done more. He cried in front of her for the first time in years. And you know what she did? She wiped his tears and whispered that he was so brave for sharing. But a month later, during a petty argument, she said, "Maybe if you weren't so soft, you wouldn't lose the people you love." That line crushed him more than any sword ever could, and in that moment, Lucius realized something tragic. He had handed her his pain and she had weaponized it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." But what if the person outside of you, the one you trusted most, is the one causing the harm inside? See, real intimacy is mutual. It's a two-way street. If you're opening your soul and she's always guarding hers behind a fortress, something's wrong. Here's what emotional manipulation looks like. You expose your scars. She listens but never reveals her own. You get vulnerable. She stays distant. And worse, when things go south, she twists your honesty into blame. You told her about your fears? She calls you insecure. You told her about your trauma? She calls you damaged. You asked for emotional support? She says, "You're too much." But here's what's worse. You stay because part of you believes maybe she's right, that maybe being vulnerable was a mistake. But brother, it wasn't. Your vulnerability wasn't the problem. Giving it to the wrong person was. Love is not safe if it's one-sided, and your truth is sacred. It should never be used to wound you. So ask yourself honestly, does she share her soul with you? Or just watch you bleed while she stays silent? If she can't be vulnerable, but has no problem exploiting yours, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a trap. Lucius eventually stopped sharing. He went quiet, numb, shut down emotionally, not just with her, but with everyone. Don't let that be you. Protect your heart, yes, but don't harden it. Just guard it from those who see it as a weakness rather than a gift. The next sign may be even more subtle, but just as destructive. It's not about what she says. It's about how she makes you feel every single day. For it, you feel anxious, not at peace around her. When you were with her, did you actually feel peace? I don't mean excitement. I don't mean passion. I don't mean butterflies. I mean that deep, calming sense of peace. That feeling where your heart whispers, I'm safe here. Or did you always feel like you were walking on eggshells? Did your gut tighten before texting her? Did your mind race every time she was out with friends, but didn't reply for hours? Did you find yourself rehearsing what you'd say, afraid that the wrong tone could set off a storm? If your heart nods quietly, then this sign is speaking directly to you. Let's go back to Lucius, our Roman warrior who loved hard. At first, she was intoxicating. He felt lucky, blessed even. She had that spark, that charm, that magnetic pull that made other men jealous. But something felt off. Over time, Lucius noticed something strange. He didn't feel calmer when she entered the room. He felt tension, the same tension he'd feel before battle. He wouldn't breathe easy until she smiled. He wouldn't feel relaxed unless her mood was just right. And when it wasn't, she'd snap, dismiss his thoughts, go silent for hours, or worse, turn cold and accuse him of things he didn't do. But by then, she had already trained his mind to question himself. Was it me? Did I say something wrong? Maybe I'm just being too sensitive. Brother, this isn't love. That's anxiety in disguise. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But if the person lying next to you is the one disturbing your soul, you're not in a relationship. You're in a battlefield without armor. See, real love doesn't raise your cortisol. It doesn't leave you guessing where you stand. It doesn't manipulate your emotions like a puppeteer with strings. Love, true love, is clarity. It's peace in the chaos. It's the voice that says, I'm here. You're safe. But when a woman is using you, she keeps you anxious on purpose, because anxiety breeds compliance. If she can keep you afraid of losing her, you'll tolerate anything. The insults, the cold silences, the vanishing acts, and worse, you'll think you are the problem. But let me ask you one last thing. Were you more peaceful before she entered your life or after? Because a woman who truly loves you brings calm to your storms. She steadies you. She doesn't rattle your nervous system. She doesn't leave you questioning your sanity. Lucius finally realized it. And once he left, he said something powerful. The silence I feared became the peace I never knew I needed. And maybe you're at that point now too. Maybe it's time to stop chasing someone who only brings noise and finally choose the quiet strength of self-respect. The next sign is just as subtle but even more revealing. Because when she starts pulling away, it's not always with words. And she never celebrates your growth. When was the last time she looked you in the eyes and said, I'm proud of you, not for doing something huge, not for getting a promotion or buying something expensive, but just for trying, for improving, for growing into a better man? Can't remember? That's a sign. Let me take you back to Lucius. He was the kind of man who never stopped evolving. He read, he trained, he learned from his mistakes. He wasn't perfect, but every day he was a better man than he was yesterday. When they met, she said she loved that about him, his ambition, his self-awareness, his hunger to be more. But as Lucius grew, she started shrinking away. He shared his wins, and she changed the subject. He told her about a new book that opened his mind, and she rolled her eyes. He set goals, and she accused him of being obsessed with success. And when he tried to explain how important this path was to him, she'd say, "Why are you trying to act like someone you're not?" Or, "You think you're better than me now?" That's when it hit him. She didn't want him to grow. She wanted him stuck in the version that served her best. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Lucius was doing just that. But she didn't clap for him. She competed with him. She resented his glow-up. And that, brother, is not love. A woman who loves you will water your roots, not chop down your branches. So many men stay stuck in relationships where their light is dimmed on purpose, because the moment they shine too bright, their partner feels threatened. Here's the truth. A woman who's using you doesn't want you to outgrow her grip. She won't celebrate your wins because your independence scares her. Your progress reminds her of everything she's refusing to become. Your confidence is a threat to the control she holds through guilt, shame, and emotional sabotage. So she minimizes, mocks, dismisses. And you start shrinking again. You stop sharing your wins. You play small to keep the peace. And before you know it, you've betrayed the very man you were becoming. Ask yourself, why are you with someone who doesn't clap when you rise? Because love is not just about passion, it's about partnership. Lucius realized that real love isn't afraid of your growth. It stands beside it. It celebrates it. It joins you on the journey. You were not born to be small just so someone else feels comfortable. You are evolving, becoming, rising, and anyone who can't handle your growth doesn't deserve your future. 6. You're not yourself anymore. Who have you become since you started loving her? Be honest, look in the mirror. Do you recognize the man staring back at you? Because if you don't, that's not growth. That's loss. Let's return to Lucius one final time. In the beginning, Lucius had fire in his spirit. He was driven, curious, full of humor, full of hope. He cracked jokes, trained hard, spent time with his brothers, worked on his passions. He had balance. But slowly, almost without noticing, it all faded. He laughed less. He walked on eggshells more. He stopped going to the gym, stopped writing, stopped meditating. His days became reactions to her moods. His life bent around her convenience. His friends said, "You're not the same, man." His mother asked, "Are you okay?" And he'd lie, say he was just tired, just busy. But deep down, Lucius knew the truth. He wasn't tired. He was lost. He had disappeared inside a relationship that didn't love the real him, only the version she could control. Marcus Aurelius warned us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And if you're constantly thinking about how to not upset her, how to make her stay, how to keep things calm, then slowly, without knowing it, your soul dims to the color of survival. Let that sink in. You start saying yes when you mean no. You avoid speaking up because the fights aren't worth it. You tolerate disrespect and call it compromise. You let go of your hobbies, your voice, your standards. You even start lying to yourself. That's how a man vanishes. And brother, here's the bitter truth. A woman who's using you doesn't want the real you. She wants a version of you that's easy to manage, easy to manipulate, easy to guilt trip. So she chips away at you piece by piece. Your confidence, your freedom, your spark. Until one day you're a hollow version of yourself, trying to make someone else happy, while dying inside. But hear me now. You can come back. You can remember who you were before the anxiety, before the people-pleasing, before the emotional tightrope. You were bold. You were steady. You were you, and you still are. Lucius walked away not because he hated her, but because he finally realized he missed himself more than he missed her. Let me say that again. He missed himself more than he missed her. And maybe you're at that point too. Maybe you're done pretending. Maybe you're done shrinking. Maybe it's time to stop losing yourself to someone who never really saw you to begin with. Because when love cost you your identity, it's not love, it's slow self-erasure. And you deserve to come back to life. So if even one of these 6 signs hit home, don't brush it off. Don't say it's not that bad. It's your soul speaking. Listen to it. Marcus Aurelius' 10 suggestions for reclaiming yourself. Now that you know the signs, how do you rebuild? Here are 10 powerful Stoic truths from Marcus Aurelius to guide your healing. 1. Dwell on the beauty of life. Don't let one person blind you to the world's wonders. 2. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Stop wasting time on the wrong people. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Don't seek payback. Seek peace. 4. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. Reconnect with your inner self. 5. Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Choose courage over comfort now. 6. To love only what happens, what was destined. No greater harmony. Accept your past. Learn from it. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Stop making excuses. Elevate your standards. 8. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, your reactions. 9. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Guard your mind. Fill it with strength, not sorrow. 10. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Seek truth, not illusions. Your peace is your power. Lucius could have stayed. He could have kept giving, shrinking, fading, but he didn't. He walked away, not because he hated her, but because he finally loved himself enough to stop being used. And so should you. If any of these signs resonate, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're waking up. Use that pain. Let it sharpen your vision. Let it raise your standards. Let it make you unbreakable. Remember, Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being in control of your mind, your values, your path. So take a deep breath. Forgive yourself for staying too long. And now, walk forward with clarity. Your peace is worth it. Your soul is worth it. And with that said, thanks for watching. And until next time.